Hey Phil, I thought I'd put together a quick video to show you how to do a little bend in the brass, or really any instrument in Logic. So what I decided to do was record three different brass pieces: trombone, trumpet, and triple horn. And really, it doesn't really matter which one it is. However, I'm not quite sure if I can actually bend a whole octave. I didn't on I can't remember how much I bent, but it definitely wasn't an octave. But I'll tell you, let's go in and see how far we can bend. So let's just pick the triple horn, and I'm gonna no undo those. So I'm going to go over to my matrix window here, and we can see the horn. Now right here, I'm in my pitch bend window, and I'll show that to you in 1 second. Okay, I'm in the what we call the matrix window. It's Command 6 if you're in Logic. So in the in the window here, you have, if you go up here to View, you go down to Hyperdraw, and you're able to see any type of balance and modulation, which is basically in this area right here. This whole window where I can do all this stuff. So what we're going to do is get that back to normal. So I went into here first of all to modulation because I wanted to make sure my points, if you don't have any, I don't know if you know this, but if you don't have any modulation nodes, that connect out here, your little MIDI sound here isn't going to sound. So you can play that, but it's not going to sound. You need to drag these over, and then you get your sound. So a lot of times, if you're wondering why am I not getting my sound, we'll go to modulation and find out what's going on. Okay, so now I can right click, and then my little window here will pop up. I can do volume, balance, modulation. And modulation is simply just volume control, pretty much. Some of these words are used differently, but sometimes they do the same thing. Expression does the same thing as modulation. However, there are some elements in expression that are different than modulation, but for the most part, they can pretty much do the same thing. Vienna software, it's default, which is CC11 in your MIDI controls, and I always change it to CC1, which is the modulation wheel. Well, anyway, down here you have channel pressure. You have pitch bend right here. I don't know if you have a different program. I don't know where it's at. I'm only familiar with Logic, so I'm just showing you how to do it here. So pitch bend. Go to pitch bend. We have an open window here. Typically, there won't be anything in here, so I have to just click and create something. Well, right now, it's -1 away from the natural bend of things. So if I play it now, go up, right, and at 0 is the proper pitch that it was set at in the right tuning, which happens to be in G. So I just take the node, bring it all the way down, come over here, and bring it all the way up, hit play, and there you go. And that'll work for pretty much any piece you put. You can't do it with modulation or anything else. It has to be with the pitch bend. It may be something different in your other programs. It might be called something different, but generally it's the pitch. So anyway, that's it on that. And as far as I can tell, let's see what type, how far our range was in our bend. So let's bring this up to 0 again. And let's find out on the keyboard where we're at. And I think it just goes up. Yeah, so I played this in G. That my note is the G note. And all the way down here, at least in the pitch bend, it's only going down 1 step. So it's an F now. And then all the way up here, I'll just do a short so we don't have to listen to the whole thing. So let's do it right here. So here we go, from an F to a G to an A. F. See how that was? I can't really get it to go a whole octave. I don't know how to do it a whole octave. I'm not quite sure if there's parameters that I'm unfamiliar with, but all I know is that that's as far as it goes. There might be other ways to do it, but I haven't really felt the need to do that in any of my pieces. That was generally a bend that I knew you could actually do in a real orchestra. My trombones were actually doing the bend. If you listen to the other parts of the brass, they're just doing it kind of an off-color chord, while the trombones are bending. And basically a trombone can bend 3 steps. If you go all the way to 6th, or I don't know what position. I used to play trombone. I can't remember what the position is, but all the way down on the slide, and then all the way up. I think it's 3 steps, but I can't remember. But anyway, it was kind of a natural bend that I was trying to get so that it could be, you could actually do it in a real orchestra. Well, anyway, that's it. If you have any more questions, just give me a buzz. Thanks.